Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, Scott, and we're going to do something a little bit special today. So, today, we're going to talk a little bit about WrestleMania Night 1. It's just going to be me solo today, but the main point of this is to introduce something a little bit new. As you know, during our live shows, from time to time, we do full wrestling pack openings. So today, I figured let's do a whole special about it, really. So I have a bunch of stuff that I want to do. I'm going to probably open up maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 packs, maybe a little bit more. But we have our traditional trio of WrestleMania, obviously because it is WrestleMania weekend, the classic WCW NWO packs, and the AW booster pack that I got. We also am finally going to crack open this AEW metal pack from 2022, I believe. And I'm finally going to open up this Europe only exclusive Slam Attack from 2021. I chased this thing for months when it was in Europe, and finally was able to track it down and ordered it, and then waited more months for this to show up. So it'll be interesting to see who I pull from 21. There's some cards from NXT from a friend of mine who used to be with the company. So I'm hoping that maybe one of his will be in there. Of course, having, I think it's what, there's 12 packs per, or 12 cards per packet. And I believe there's 24 packets. So I hope so. There's a lot in there. So, first things first, night 1, WrestleMania in the books. We had our 7 matches. We had some surprise returns. We even had a total divas moment with a surprise pregnancy. So Sam and I watched this, not streaming it. Every once in a while, it's just nice to just be able to sit down, even though he's in Florida, I'm in Vermont, to sit down and watch a show together, just see how things are, catch up a little bit, chit chat during the show, and watch the magic, I guess, unfold. Um, Sam and I actually liked night 1, but I feel like we're part of the minority because online was not very kind to it. um, I didn't dig too deep into it, but a lot of people were not happy with it. I don't know if this is just continual disdain for the product because of the ESPN deal and having to pay $30 to watch it. So I don't know if people forget the old days when you had to buy a pay per view and it was 50 to $60 to buy a pay per view. Um, so I guess we're all a little spoiled when we had the WWE Network and then Peacock, and then they started splitting more things off. And for the international audience, it's great because they just go on Netflix, don't have to worry about it. But it's only the States and I believe Canada and actually not even. I think it's just the States that has ESPN Unlimited that they have to worry about. Um, but I didn't really have a problem with it. Maybe I wasn't paying complete attention to it because I'm also hanging out with my best friend and we're chit chatting and having fun the whole time. So whatever. I enjoyed it. Thought it was good. Um, like I said, 7 matches. We had the Usos and LA Knight defeating the Vision and I Show Speed. We'll go more into depth in the matches when we do our normal Thursday show that'll come out on Friday because we're not doing a live show until next month. So we had 2 this month, which was a lot of fun to do. But next week will be your regularly scheduled ATR episode that will come out Friday morning. So after that first match, we had Jacob Fatu defeating Drew McIntyre. Their first surprise of the night was the return of Paige teaming with Brie Bella because Nikki Bella still had an injury. Ended up being her ankle. She just had surgery, she said, during the post show 2 weeks prior. So clearly not ready to go. So Brie teams up with Paige and they actually defeat the Irresistible Forces, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Bayley and Lyra Valkyria to become the women's tag team champions. You had Becky Lynch defeating AJ Lee to regain the women's Intercontinental Championship. Gunther defeating Seth Rollins, thanks to another surprise return with Braun Breaker coming in and absolutely destroying Seth with two ridiculous spears. If you haven't seen them online, I'd recommend you go find them because they are vicious as always. Liv Morgan defeating Stephanie Vaquer to regain the World's Women's Championship, and Cody Rhodes defeating Randy Orton to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. The surprise pregnancy that I had mentioned before was actually Bianca Belair. She came out after John Cena was doing his, I think it was the attendance record for the night, and came out and made the announcement, which was, I thought that was kind of cool. She's been gone for a long time with an injury to her hand, and Jair come out and announce that. So congratulations to both her and her husband, Montez Ford. So that's essentially night one. Like I said, we'll go into more detail during our regular ATR show. Night two, we got 6 matches tonight. There's still that rumor of the 7th one, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen now. But tonight on ESPN during the first hour is Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, which I think is a consensus to being the match of the weekend already. And it hasn't even happened yet. Then the 6-pack ladder match for the IC title with Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. Then it's Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship. Sami Zayn and Trick Williams for the US title. The Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio, which I believe is probably going to be the free card on the bingo board. Because, sorry, Dom, it ain't going to happen tonight. And then your main event of WrestleMania, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. So, and there's a little caveat that I see that's been added to this, which actually kind of makes you wonder what's going to happen. If Roman loses this match, he says he's leaving WWE. So that's a very interesting thing. I did not see that beforehand. So I wonder what that is all about. But we'll see what happens tonight. Let's see. Yeah, I guess he made that statement last night. Okay, I guess that makes sense why I didn't notice it until just now. But let me know you guys' thoughts. I want to know why everybody hated WrestleMania Night 1 so much. I thought it was pretty good, like I said, but again, maybe I wasn't paying good enough attention. But for the whole point of this show, now we got that 15 minutes out of the way, talking about Night 1, let's open some packs. We'll start with the WrestleMania pack from 2020. Again, as I had mentioned before, this WrestleMania pack was supposed to be WrestleMania that we were supposed to go to. Both Sam and I were supposed to go down to Florida with our friends, Andrew, who was going to host us, and it was going to be a whole week full of stuff to do. But of course, the world shut down, and well, WrestleMania was done in a closed audience. So let's see. So our first card, it's a Raw card. It's the Revival, or now FTR in AEW, winning the Raw Tag Team Championship. And of course, now my camera won't it makes everything nice and blurry. How nice, guys. And then a match from shows actually WrestleMania. Roman Reigns defeating Drew McIntyre. I can get this to steady. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I forgot this was a thing. The WWE had its World Cup back in 2018. This was a card for Randy Orton defeating The Big Show to qualify for the World Cup. Another match from 2018 on SmackDown when Daniel Bryan was the WWE champion. I'm sorry, this was the new Daniel Bryan. Still has the old title belt though. He didn't have his environmentally friendly title belt yet. Defeating Mustafa Ali. Let's see. We have a nice. I actually remember this match too from 2019 in January. Rey Mysterio and Andrade in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I believe that match was won by Rey. WrestleMania card for Carmella. And then the last one, another WrestleMania card for Billy Kay. Those of you who've watched Up, Up, Down, Down, we all know how monstrous Billy Kay was back when they were playing. I believe it was SmackDown versus Raw 2006. So that's that first pack. We'll dive into the next one. We'll end up doing the WCW NWO pack. Again, for those who were not or have not paid attention, but have not been watching, I found these packs. I believe it was maybe 2022, and at a local wrestling event that we have a couple of companies here in Vermont that do professional wrestling, and this one was for ETWA, and the show was in Newport, and I went to their merch tables just to see what they had. A lot of fun stuff in those things. Tons of different like old school action figures and DVDs and even some VHSs, magazines, like the whole 9 yards. And I happened to see these cards just kind of sitting there. There's a whole bunch of them. You know, they showed 99 cents. And I was just like, that's not too bad. But they were selling them for 50 cents. So I was like, well, that's even better. So I asked them, I said, how many you got? They're like, I don't know, 30 something. I'm like, all right, I'll take them all. So I bought them all. I sat on them for a few years, and then once we started doing these pack openings, this was one of the first things I wanted to open because, you know, these are from 1997 and 1998. So they're you know, I was already knee deep in my fandom at that point. I had been a fan since the summer of 1990. And this at the time was, you know, the heights of the Monday Night Wars. And so I wish I had known about these wrestling cards when I was younger because I'd collected baseball cards, basketball cards, football cards, hockey cards, NASCAR cards, like pretty much everything under the sun that had a collectible trading card. I had it, but I had no idea that wrestling had their own trading cards at the time either because they never promoted them. They never had things on television that I can remember. I even had some of the video games when I was young. So it was like, how did I miss this? But I'm glad that I found them now. Going into my, you know, I'm still in my very early 40s, but still, it's like, I think it's cool that they had these from, you know, 30 years ago that I'm now just finding. So our first one in this pack is always a sticker, which I think is kind of funny that they had those things back in the day. Well, I know stickers have been around forever, but, you know, for wrestling cards, you know, that type of thing. So this one is NWO Wolfpack Conan. One of the best announcers to ever do it, Gene Okerlund. Another NWO star for the black and white, Scott Norton. Wow, this is all right. The announce team for WCW. That's the first time I've seen this one. I've opened up a few of these packs, and I haven't seen this one yet. So Mike Tenay, Tony Schiavone, and I believe Bobby the Brain Heenan was an all-star team for the announcers. And then our last one, wow, this is really split down the middle for all this stuff today. It's either announcers or NWO people. So NWO black and white is Big Papa Pump himself, the master of all math things, Scott Steiner. All right. For our next one, I'm going to dive into this AEW metal pack. Freshly still sealed. Haven't even gotten that plastic off of it yet. So with this pack, or with this box, I should say, 7 packs per cards, and there are 5 cards or 5 packs. It's pretty decent. So I'll just open up one of these packs for now. We'll save the other ones for the shows, for our live shows, or for more of these shows. Nice looking pack. Pretty good. Now the fun part of getting into these things. All the other ones played nicely. This one does not want to. There we go. I always fear about bending these cards because stuff has monetary value to it. So it's pretty good. Oh, these are nice cards too. All right. So our first one is everybody's favorite resident dinosaur, Luchasaurus. The thick cards too. Very nice. All right. Part of Top Flight, Dante Martin. Nice card for Roosh. Our new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And this card is even extra special, part of their Metal Universe edition, Darby Allin. Another Metal Universe card, freshly squeezed, Orange Cassidy. And yet another Metal Universe, someone who's been missing from AEW television. So we don't know if this one's ever going to come back. And Zach, if you ever end up watching this later, knowing him, he'll probably try to contact me to see if he can get this. But it is the Doctor, Britt Baker, DMD. And our last one for this pack is I believe it was the first AEW Women's Champion, Riho. So we are cruising right along, which is pretty good. I wanted to keep this kind of short and sweet, about a half an hour in. So I was actually able last night to track down some more wrestling cards. It's been a little difficult for me to be able to do so since they started getting a lot more popular in the mid 2020s. I was able to track some down off of the, believe it or not, the WWE website itself, the shop.com website. Last like 5 or 6 times I've looked, they have not had any. But they had some available for WrestleMania. They are the 2026 Topps cards, so they're brand spanking new. So I was able to get my hands on some of them. So those will be coming pretty soon. And then we'll be doing some more pack openings with that. But for this one, I'm going through and opening up the European only pack, the Slam Attacks from 2021. I have no idea what's really in these. I've seen some of the art on the box, so I kind of have an idea of what to expect, but I don't know. I'm excited about these. We'll see what we get. There's 12 in this one too, so that's pretty cool. So how do they have these situated? Okay, I see. So we'll put those at the end. So these cards are more for like trading card games because these have like attacks and defense stats on them. So it's kind of like if you play like the WWE 2K games, they kind of have that feel the way they have for like My Faction, stuff like that, where you go and you collect your cards and whatnot for your wrestlers to use during those particular modes. So the first one is my new current favorite wrestler, who is unfortunately out an injury, and we'll never know if he'll actually come back to actually wrestle again. But it is KO, Kevin Owens. Let's see. Our second one here focuses on Charlotte Flair's figure 8 leg lock. So that's kind of cool. I got to read into these a little bit more to see what they're really about, because it's definitely different than a lot of the other than any of the other wrestling cards that I have. So I'm excited to go through all these, see who else I get. Get Lindsay Dorado. Man who will be wrestling tonight, Finn Balor. Probably one of my absolute favorite people that I've watched wrestle throughout TNA, throughout NXT, and even his short run during the main roster, which is the glorious one, Robert Roode. Someone who I honestly feel was done dirty before they let her go. I feel like she could have been, or they should have pushed her so much more. Maybe given her more of maybe giving her a mouthpiece might have made life a little bit easier for her. She actually just wrestled in Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, and that's Shayna Baszler. Member of the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis. I still love his storyline that he did with The Way in NXT way back in the day. Former TNA Tag Team Champion, and will be in WWE 2K as a member of their Ringside Pass, I believe, season 5, I think, maybe 4. Jeff Hardy. Let's see. Focusing on a tag team, which unfortunately one half of them is no longer there, and the other one now wrestles in a different country. Imperium. Ooh. This one is an NXT UK Heroes card. A member of Mustache Mountain, who unfortunately is no longer with the company. Trent Seven. I like this one. This one's good. For those of you who remember Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse, Abby the Witch got her own card. So, like I said, I got to look into this a little bit deeper to see what exactly the trading card game with this was, and why some of these cards are here, which is funny. So this one is a Clash of Champions booster card. It's one half of the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins. So that's it for that one. And then we'll do our last one of the night. Just crossing by the half-hour mark, so that's perfect. This one will be 2025 AEW pack. This one also has 12 cards as well. It's nice to find the booster packs because they always tend to have more cards per pack. The other ones are fine having, like 7, whatnot. That's all perfect. All good and fine, but I don't know. I'm a stickler for trying to find most bang for your buck with these things, and you get the most cards. So let's see. Our first AEW card for this, Kyle O'Reilly. Let's see. Focusing on some tag teams, we actually have one half of, what do they call them? Babes of Wrath. And then the other one someone who just made her re-debut last night, Harley Cameron and Saraya, aka Paige. And then continuing on, Roderick Strong. Probably one of my favorites in AEW, Eddie Kingston. I believe she is right now the ROH Pure Women's Champion. Someone who should be on television a lot more. Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa. More things freshly squeezed. Another Orange Cassidy. Different pack, though, so it's not a duplicate, which is also great. Well, this is a nice one. It's a Neon Monkeyer card. Which is the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer. It's a nice looking card. Another wrestler who is missing in action, obviously, she just recently became a mom, so obviously that's more important. Ruby Soho. Let's see. Hologram. I'm kind of disappointed that the card itself is not a hologram because that would have been even more hilarious. Another one of my favorites, who I believe recently just made a return, Hikaru Shida. Focusing on another tag team, and boy, these two have certainly, obviously, they're not together anymore, but these two have definitely blown up in the best way possible. Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. And then last but not least, our last card for this evening is one of the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue. So those are your cards for today. I appreciate those who have been watching tonight. So we'll continue to keep doing these card packs, especially during our live shows. If this is stuff that you guys like to see, let me know in the comments. Tell me, which types of cards I should be looking for. I am trying to see if I can find some old WCW packs that don't break the bank. Obviously, looking for WWE stuff, for AEW stuff as well, and trying to see what else is out there. If there's some AAA stuff, if some CMLL cards, I'll take a look, see what I can get, and I'll open them up. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Or for today. It's only 12:30 Eastern. Hope you guys enjoy WrestleMania Night 2. Like I said, we got 6 matches for the night, maybe 7, depending on if that rumored match actually does happen. But that's it. So obviously, thank you guys so much for being here. And don't forget to join the Bedlam. Thanks, guys.